we ain't got too much time, so we're gonna get started straight up. You already seen both the subjects, you know what I'm saying? See, what happens is this. I ain't even got time for y'all to catch up. Y'all just catch up later. So what happens is this, man. A lot of times y'all don't realize when there's real ones in your midst. Real ones who don't ask for shit, that stick to the script, that understand loyalty, that move different than you're used to. And because of that, a lot of times motherfuckers will cross game. You know what I'm saying? Like on the real. Like, it's just so ridiculous. Like, I could have fucked a nigga's bitch. Real shit. I should have, but I still could. And I just might. Just on GP because you fucked around and crossed the game on some bullshit. Anyway. Never cross the real ones. You only get like like when I was younger, my father told me this, and I didn't really understand what he said. What he used to say is, you don't really have a lot of friends. You have a lot of associates. You feel me? And I didn't really understand because I had a gang of people around me I thought were friends. But no, you only have a few friends. That's why Nipsey Hussle said small circle is a chosen few. But that's all you really need. For real. So at this point in time, I'm not looking to build. Like, I know, like, when I do these videos, when I spit a lot of shit, people think I'm being arrogant. Take this shit up. People think I'm, like, trying to cap. I'm trying to brag. I'm not. I'm trying to inspire people. I'm trying to show people things that I've done because I understand what kind of situation a lot of people are in right now. So I'm showing you what I did. Went from a broke-ass, nothing-ass, you know what I'm saying, scraping up change to buy a fucking Black and Mild to being good. In a short amount of time. So when I'm dropping a lot of this game, that's just what it is. You can do what you want with it. You feel me? I understand that a lot of people they're not used to that. They're used to people trying to charge them fees for doing this or that, or just get donations for not really fucking with them like that. So when a real one's in your midst in any kind of way, I don't care if it's a romantic way, if it's a brotherly, sisterly way, if it's a friendship way, if it's a business way. When real ones are in your midst, learn how to recognize that shit. A lot of people can't recognize this shit. They don't recognize real ones in their midst, and they end up playing themselves. I'm gonna tell you something. You can't play me. This ain't me being arrogant. You just can't play me. I'm too solid for that. You can play yourself, and you could take the loss. Because I'll never put myself in a position where somebody else could do me so bad that I take a loss. It's not happening. Recognize real ones in your motherfucking midst. So I got time right now. I know that a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, that fell off. I done blocked so many people because of the 2 Oak shenanigans. We're going to get to that in a minute. So I know, like, a lot of people don't pay attention. A few do, and a even smaller few actually respect it and appreciate it. So that's what I do this for. So when I spit this game, I'm only doing it knowing only a few people will really actually pick it up, understand it, and apply it. But those few who do are very appreciative because a lot of times it will change their life or help level them up. So even though I'm in the midst right now, I'm trying to find a new house to own, not rent. I got hustle to do, digital, brick and mortar, street. I'm about getting mine. But I do have time as I wait for this, thing to get done, to spit some game real quick. So I already did the whole don't cross game on the real ones. Listen, learn how to identify. And if you're not attracting real ones in your life, then you have to really look at what you're doing, what vibration you're putting out, what actions you're actually applying to yourself. Because a lot of times I hear people say like they can't attract the real ones, they can't attract real conscious people. No, it's because you're not attracting it because you're not it right now. Knowing a bunch of shit don't make you conscious. Sharing a bunch of quotes don't make you real. It's your actions. It's how you react when you're in situations. Are you really loyal? Can you really turn down your homie's bitch when she's trying to throw you the pussy? Can you really do that? Can you really turn down your homegirl's dude, if you're a female, that's getting at you? Can you really do things? Integrity is what you do when no one's looking. It's not what you're doing in public. So if you don't have integrity, if you don't have these certain things, and they're not easy, they're not a given, you know what I'm saying? But if you don't have these or learn how to acquire and apply these things, you're not going to attract what you actually say you're looking for. You're going to keep attracting fuck boys and fuck bitches. And that's the problem with a lot of niggas and a lot of bitches out there. Excuse the language. I'm just going to keep it a buck. That is the problem. Is that you're attracting something and you're not understanding why you're attracting it. It's because you haven't cleansed yourself. You haven't done the work. You haven't actually looked at yourself and said, look, I'm fucked up. I'm on some bullshit. I gotta change that. That's one of the hardest things to do, is to self-evaluate yourself. And that's how you clear the air of the fuck shit. Of course, there'll always be fuck shit. There'll always be people that will take advantage of kindness and take it for weakness. That's just part of the game. And when you're in hell, you can't be too much of an angel, because that's a death sentence. Now let's get back to this too woke shit. Let me get to some of this too woke shit. And here's why I gotta do this one, you guys. Because months ago, when this COVID shit first started, I was seeing the most ridiculous shit people were posting. And mind you, I told you to pay attention to some of these cats that are posting the most ridiculous shit, because what's going to happen is, in the future, they're going to pretend they didn't say none of that shit. They're not going to apologize and say they were wrong. Remember all the things that you used to hear. Remember all these cats that was telling you that COVID is a hoax, or they were telling you that black people are immune to the shit. They're telling you that 5G is spreading the shit. They were telling you that they're about to do a martial law. That's what the lockdown's about. They're doing martial law and come and kill us all. Remember all the people that were saying that shit. They're not saying shit now. They all got 5G, Wi-Fi phones that they're watching Pornhub with 3D and shit. They're not really worried about the 5G spreading it. I told you, pay attention to these cats, because you need to evaluate where you're getting your information from. Think about all the Donald Trump shit that people have been saying. All these Moorish niggas talking about how he's going to bring back the republic. He's going to do another 4 years because constitutionally they can't get him out of office because all this bullshit. None of that shit's applicable. That shit's all fake. They done told you that he's going to bring back the gold standard. Impossible. They told you he's going to abolish the IRS, but they're in charge of the fucking stimulus, so how can you do that? They said that they're going to abolish the Federal Reserve System. They told you that masks don't work because they didn't understand for masks work the same way covering your mouth works. It stops you from spreading. That's common sense. So it's not no wonder that we're still going through it. So y'all are mad about this COVID and it's a hoax, but keep in mind, all the countries that already went through it, they're good now. We're not, because we're too fucking woke and we're too damn arrogant. And most of the wokeness that these cats are pushing, it's not practical at all. Imagine our great ancestors pushing a bunch of impractical conspiracy theories. We have to deal with what is real. Deal with what we can actually control. Fuck the dumb shit. Fuck these conspiracy theories about aliens and underground, reptilian shapeshifters, and they're doing Illuminati rituals at all these fucking events. That shit is not applicable to your everyday life. Not only that, what you're doing is you're pumping fear. So don't tell me you're a god, but you're afraid of the fucking devil. The devil's supposed to be afraid of you, not the other way around. That's a fact. So all these pumping up people to be afraid, that's why shit don't get done. It's the same way, back to these two woke conspiracies. I've seen conspiracy videos and people sharing conspiracies about people who I knew personally, who are dead, who are gone now. And they're telling you it was a hoax because they want to start a race war. We're in a fucking race war already. Duh. What are you talking about? First of all, they don't want a race war. You know what they really want? They want it just like it is right now. They want to be able to pick us off one by one the way they do it right now. They don't want that MFAC smoke. They don't want that new Black Panther Party smoke. They don't want that Huey P. Newton Gun Club smoke. They don't want the Crips and Bloods and GDs and all these other street organizations coming together and saying, fuck the dumb shit. We ready to ride. You're not going to keep killing us. They don't want that smoke. It's the same way some of y'all cats, every time we start getting on the police, the first thing you say is, what about Chicago and the black on black crime? Hey, good. The black on black crime takes care of itself, because it's people that are on fuck shit killing each other and they go to jail for the shit. So when we're saying the police, we're saying yo, you're taking our tax money to kill us. And we ain't with that shit. Defund these bitches. It's a difference. Don't get it twisted. A lot of y'all cats don't have no business trying to spit any kind of educational knowledge on Facebook or anywhere else. You don't. You read a book and now you think you're ready to teach. You watch Hidden Colors and now you think you're ready to teach. You just found out the fucking 911 was an inside job. Now you're ready to teach. Understand that cats like me, we've been studying this shit for years before there was a fucking Facebook. Before there was a YouTube. We done went through different organizations and protocols. We didn't just jump up out of nowhere and now we're going to start sharing these fucking memes. And let me tell you something about some of these memes that I've been seeing shared, y'all. Memes are not fucking the truth. I've done tests, actually. It disappointed me. It disappointed me because I've actually done tests, where I shared a meme just to see if y'all was gonna get it or not. I shared memes about dabbing and that it came from white Aryan nation gangs in prison. Niggas fell for the shit. I was like, there's no way y'all fall for the shit. It got shared so many times I had to take that shit down. I done memes about what Hitler said about black people being the precious Jews. Y'all fell for the shit. I shared shit about who's that? Charlie Manson. Bro, black people are gods. Y'all didn't understand the context. Y'all ran for the shit because y'all need to get validated by these motherfuckers, man. Don't tell me that you're conscious and you're woke and you're kings and you're queens and you're gods. You're not none of that shit. You're still fucking slaves mentally because you don't think for yourself. I could always tell you exactly what YouTube personality you worship just by how you respond to some of the shit. Because all you do is regurgitate their talking points, but you don't think for yourself. That's why I put that post out there the other day. I said the good thing about crypto is you don't have to trust me. You don't have to trust nobody. All you do is you trust the code. You can look at the fucking code. It's audited publicly. You can see exactly what the fuck these protocols are supposed to do. And that's the same principle that we have to take when it comes to this black nationalism shit. We don't fall in love with personalities. We follow the principles. We follow the code. That's what we do. And for instance, it don't matter how I feel about a particular person. If they say some real shit, I'm with it. I'll support it. I can take what I can use and I can leave the rest alone. There are cats who I can't stand in the conscious community. But if they say some real shit that I could use, I'm going to use it, period. There's cats that I think are dope. But if they say some bullshit, I'm cutting that out because I can't use it. And that's how you have to roll with this shit. It's tangibles. Y'all act like y'all want tangibles. You don't want tangibles. You want symbology. That's what the fuck you want. I'm talking about the ones who's always talking about we don't need symbolism. No, you do want symbolism. Because if you didn't want symbolism, you would have been supporting some of this real shit. Some of this shit that could have actually helped us. Instead, what you do is you say you don't do politics, but then when Kamala Harris and Joe Biden gets in office, you're obsessed with letting everybody know she's not really black. And look, he did the 94 crime bill, and he's putting transsexuals in. Fuck all the dumb shit. First of all, what the fuck? That ain't got shit to do with you. He's not supposed to have a black plan. We're supposed to have the black plan and push it to him, not the other way around. And if you really wanted tangibles, and if you really wanted to be on some shit, and if you really, first of all, if you didn't think politics work, you shouldn't give a fuck about who's in office right now, period. But let me tell you what really happened during this whole election shit. And I know why it happened, because I know both of the cats that was pushing the hold your vote shit. And that would have worked, perhaps, before the COVID. After COVID, it was a wrap. So what I was trying to tell people is like, look at some of these candidates, like Andrew Yang. He's trying to give people $1,000 a month. That was enough tangible for me. Like, yeah, $1,000 a month, I could do something. Every adult in the household gets $1,000 a month. Rest rent, bills paid, plus whatever you're making at work. Invest that shit. Do some practical shit. But nobody wanted to support him because Yang ain't that thing, and he wasn't saying he's down with reparations. None of these motherfuckers gonna be down with reparations. Pardon me. The person who was down with reparations was named Tom Geiger. Y'all didn't support him. The media shot him to the left like they did Andrew Yang. But I was telling you, the one who had the best chance was probably Bernie Sanders. Now, Bernie Sanders didn't say he was about reparations. I get it. But none of them are. You serious? None of them are. You know why none of them are? Because we ain't even pushing the reparations properly. We think that the reparations is going to come from the government writing a check. No, the reparations is supposed to come from the businesses and banks that are still operable today who made wealth off of slavery. That's half the banks that y'all bank with, half the insurance companies y'all insure with, tobacco industry, a lot of the clothes manufacturers, the Catholic Church. That's who you get the money from, because they're the ones that made money off of slavery. The government didn't have ships that was going to pick up people. Those were private ships. Now, what the government benefited was from infrastructure and institutions that we built. So therefore, we would have them supplement us in that way. But that's a different subject. Back to the Bernie Sanders. So even though Bernie Sanders didn't, and this ain't, I'm telling you this because like we have to play politics. Like you guys are acting like voting is for slaves. And that people are slaves because they're in politics, trying to participate in politics. The opposite is true. If you knew your history, you would understand this. And when you say that our ancestors didn't die to vote, That's a motherfucking lie. They did. But it's not just that they died to vote. They died because they were trying to progress, and that was a tool that they can use. And since y'all ain't gonna pick up the guns, then you better start using economics. You better start using politics. You better start using education. You better start using everything that's at your disposal, because Nat Turner couldn't. That's the point. Back to Bernie again. Understand something. Even though Bernie didn't say he was for reparations, if you looked at his policies, 6 of his policies were damn near identical to every reparation 10-point program you can look at. In the war on drugs, that disproportionately hurt us. Free college, that is in most reparation packages. Student debt relief, free health care. These are things that have been tangible, and he probably would have been good with the $1,000 a month thing during this pandemic. So what I'm saying is those were actual tangibles. So if you're serious about tangibles, you would have looked at that. It's ridiculous for y'all to say, to y'all to imply that participating in politics is slave shit. But slaves couldn't participate in politics. And what king do you know that doesn't want to be at the table when decisions are being made that's going to govern your life? Everything you do is politics. Everything. Where you send your kids to school, that's politics. Where you put your money in banks, that's politics. Where you spend your money, they participate in politics. And what they do is they pass laws that help them and doesn't help you. So for you to say that we shouldn't participate in politics, but we're watching everybody else get policies in their favor because they participated and they participated right, that's some too woke bullshit. So like I said before, look at all these cats that were saying all this garbage shit months ago that now act like they weren't saying it. Now look at these cats that are saying this shit right now and just recently, and where'd that get you? Where'd all this extra Trump, he's doing all this extra fly shit, he's gonna get rid of all the pedophiles and all that bullshit. Where are you at now? Oh, I've had Morris tell me, oh, he's gonna get the next, he's gonna get a second term because of the laws and what he's doing to restore the republic and all this bullshit. Look where it's at right now. And then consider the source of information that you're taking. Consider where you're getting this information, and you should probably consider shunning these Negroes because they're on some bullshit. An agent isn't just one who's paid by the government. It's a dumbass idiot motherfucker who's telling you a bunch of bullshit that's making you not participate in things that's gonna have to do directly with your fucking life. So they're basically helping the devil. That is an agent. I don't care if they get a check or not. The effect is the same. Gang.